Imagine this. You fall into a coma for an entire month, and when you wake up, you're a genius. A 15-year-old with the sharpest mind for analyzing crimes, psychology, physics, and human behavior. But here's the question. Will people believe you, or will they think you've lost your mind? Our story begins with a boy named Sun. He suddenly found himself in a strange place, a world that felt unreal. An old man appeared before him and asked, "Do you hear that sound?" Sun frowned in confusion. "What is that noise?" "It sounds like people talking." The old man replied, "Do you remember 15 years ago when you first came here? You were just a child, crying, searching for answers. From that day on, you dedicated your life to science, psychology, criminology, physics, even human biology, all for the sake of one question. Tell me now, have you found the answer?" The old man extended his hand. Sun shook it. The man smiled gently. "Your hand is warm. But know this. Your search for the truth will force you to face the monster within yourself. You may fall and rise again, over and over. But never forget, warmth is always inside your heart. Now, open your eyes." Sun was puzzled. "But my eyes are already open." And in that instant he realized the answer was not here. He needed to seek the truth somewhere else. Suddenly, voices echoed around him. "Is he conscious?" Vitals are stabilizing. Heartbeat and breathing are back to normal. A nurse leaned over him. "Son, open your eyes." And just like that, he awoke in a hospital bed. He was small again, a child. His arms hooked to IV lines. Doctors and nurses surrounded him. Just moments ago, he was a grown man with the professor. Now, he was 15. Was it just a dream? The head doctor examined him carefully. "Do you feel dizzy? Nauseous?" Sun calmly answered, "I'm fine." The doctor asked, "Do you know how long you've been here?" Sun replied without hesitation, "A little over a month. Since you didn't put me on a ventilator, that means my body's functions remained stable." The doctor stared in shock. "How does a child know that? Are you interested in medicine?" Sun only smiled and said, "Yes, very much." The doctor chuckled in disbelief. "Your case is unusual. During your coma, your brain waves cycled in patterns. 10 days of theta waves, then 10 days of beta, and finally 10 days of alpha." Sun responded with confidence. "Theta waves spark imagination and creativity. Beta waves handle logical thinking and problem solving. Alpha waves strengthen focus and memory consolidation. That means, in a single month, my brain experienced a full cycle of intellectual maturity, as if I lived through 15 years of learning." The doctor laughed in astonishment. "How can a boy know all this?" Later, Sun went to the bathroom and tried to recall the accident that brought him here. The rain had been pouring heavily that night. His father, drunk and enraged, dragged him into the car. Sun begged him not to drive, but his father shouted, "You will go to the police and you will say that Mr. Choi killed your mother." The car skidded on the wet road. A shadow appeared in front of them. The vehicle swerved, and they plunged off a bridge. His father died instantly, blood everywhere. Sun survived, but scarred forever. Back in his hospital room, Sun encountered a man with an injured hand, mocking the doctors. The man handed him a cigarette. Sun noticed something. He was left-handed, and his wound matched a detail from a recent unsolved murder case. Sun carefully collected the cigarette butt as evidence, sealed it in a bag, and called the police, pretending to be an adult. He gave them shocking details about the killer, a man named Joe, staying in room 1407 of the hospital. At first, the detective didn't believe him. But when the detective arrived with his assistant Han, asking about the patient Joe, at that very moment Joe was preparing to sneak out in disguise. Sun confronted him directly. "Tell me, how did it feel when you killed that woman?" Joe grinned wickedly. "It was exhilarating." Sun glared at him. "You're not brave. You're a coward who attacked from behind. And your injury proves it. You hurt yourself while fleeing." Furious, Joe tried to strike him, but the detective grabbed Joe's wounded hand, revealed his badge, and declared his arrest. Joe attempted to escape, but Sun tripped him, making it easy for police to restrain him. Afterward, Sun spoke with the detective like a seasoned profiler. He explained, "Serial killers often fall into deep depression after their first murder. To escape that void, they kill again and again. That's how the cycle begins." The detective was stunned. Was this really just a 15-year-old boy? Or a genuine criminal profiler? Days passed. News outlets reported the capture of a suspect in multiple murders. Sun felt a sense of satisfaction. What he learned in his coma truly worked in the real world. As he left the hospital, a little girl asked him for candy. He gave her the whole bag. She smiled and called him brother. The word froze him in place, unlocking a painful memory. A shattered home, his mother dying, and a man with a golden tooth grinning at him. Voices tormented him, a black wolf whispering, "This is all your fault." Sun wiped his tears, pretended to the nurse that he was fine, and went to meet Dr. Kim, who offered to adopt him. Sun agreed, but only legally, so he could continue investigating his parents' mysterious past. Dr. Kim handed him a phone and a bank card, promising he would never be alone again. Not long after, Sun encountered Bora's mother near a bus station. She was panicked. Her daughter hadn't returned for over an hour, and her phone was off. Sun immediately sensed danger. He warned that the chance of Bora being killed within 3 hours was 75%, but the police dismissed him. So, Sun called Dr. Kim for help and began investigating on his own. He analyzed the situation. The neighborhood was small. No car could abduct her without being noticed. That meant the culprit was someone local. The cat's food bowls were untouched. Bora had left willingly, following someone she knew. Sun profiled the suspect. A single man, jobless, unattractive. While he was deep in thought, a drunk threw a bottle at him, but Sun ignored the pain and focused. Then he remembered. Tae, a lonely man living nearby. Sun rushed to his house, pounding on the door. Tae answered nervously. Sun asked, "Weren't Bora and I supposed to play today? Is she still inside?" Tae panicked. Just then, the police arrived, but Tae lured Sun inside, pretending to show him a kitten. Inside, Sun noticed the windows covered in black plastic. He knew Bora was there. He struck Tae with his phone, knocking him down, and shouted to the police. He ran upstairs and found Bora bound and gagged. He freed her and told the police the evidence was all around them. Tae was arrested. During questioning, the detective confronted him with undeniable proof. At the hospital, Bora's mother hugged Sun tightly, thanking him. "You've grown so much, Sun. If your mother were alive, she would be proud." But when she mentioned the name Hyejin, Sun collapsed, whispering it in confusion. Back at his old home, he discovered a note in his mother's handwriting. "Run away from your father." Then, his father's ghost appeared, accusing him. "You killed me." Flashbacks of abuse flooded Sun's mind. The violence, the nightmarish accident. Overwhelmed, he ran into the streets, unaware of a shadowy man following him. Breathless, Sun stumbled into a dark alley, only to be cornered by the man with a broken bottle at his throat. The stranger forced him to confess. He revealed the truth. Their group staged car accidents to scam insurance companies. Sun's father had been part of it all along. Shocked, Sun fought back, injuring the man and stealing his phone before fleeing. At an internet cafe, Sun unlocked the phone and found encrypted messages. His eyes narrowed as he scrolled through line after line of coded text. They called him Drone's son. They called his home the nursery, and they called the plan to kill him the Eagle. Horrified, Sun realized his entire life had been part of a much larger scheme. A game where he was not the hunter, but the prey. He sent a message pretending he had found Drone's daughter, Hee-jin. The reply came swiftly. "I haven't found her in years. Her mother hid her." Sun exhaled with relief. Hee-jin was still alive, somewhere out there, beyond the shadows of this conspiracy. He typed another question with shaking fingers. "Are you the Mastermind?" The man who received it froze in confusion. While only a few seats away, a mysterious young man sat at another computer calmly playing video games. And in that chilling moment, Sun understood. This wasn't just about killers or conmen. It wasn't just about violence. It was far bigger. A network of independent cells, all connected, all controlled by a hidden mastermind. He whispered to himself, who could it be? Is it just about money? Or is there something deeper, something darker, something far more dangerous? His mind raced through possibilities. Politicians, corporate giants, criminal syndicates, or maybe someone closer, someone he had already met. He pressed his hands against his temples, the glow of the computer screen painting his face in pale light. Every detail of his past, every death, every secret, every whisper, suddenly seemed connected. If they created me as prey, then I will become the hunter. Sun clenched his fists, the reflection of his determined eyes staring back at him in the dark computer screen. The cafe around him buzzed with ordinary life. Students laughing, games being played, cups of coffee clinking. Yet Sun knew, beneath this fragile normality, a war in the shadows had already begun. He closed the phone. The hunt was no longer a choice. It was destiny, and destiny had chosen him. And here ends another chapter of Sun's story. But remember, every truth uncovered opens the door to an even darker secret. If you want to continue this journey with Sun, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell, and stay tuned for the next episode.